We're good? All right, welcome to the August meeting of the Town of Hamlin Planning Board. At this time, I'd like to talk about the exits out the door on the right, down the hall, and out the door on the left, down the stairs. There's an AED over there if needed. Okay. I'd like at this time to have all the cell phones, any other devices shut off. So we won't interrupt somebody making a presentation or any discussion here tonight. With that being said, you call the roll, please.
Sharon Steigerwald. Here. Dave Martin.
Here.
Chris Schleider.
Here.
James Nesbitt.
Here.
Ed Nelson.
Here.
Steve Hittner.
Here.
With Steve Locke excused.
Okay, has everybody had a chance on the board to review last month's meeting minutes? And if so, are there any corrections or additions? And the meeting was dry other than a small spelling error. Referring to the minutes of the meeting. Make a motion to approve minutes.
Sharon Steigerwald. Dave Martin.
Yes.
Chris Schleider.
Yes.
James Nesbitt.
Yes.
Ed Nelson.
Yes.
Steve Hittner.
Okay, first item on the agenda. Building, I believe, LLC. Table from last month, commercial site plan modification. Is there somebody here representing Hamlin Building LLC? If so, please speak to the clerk and we'll get started.
Good evening, I'm Cooper Schultz, and I'm here representing this application. We were contacted a short while ago to assist with this project, actually provide a site plan, and it's been clients have had the pleasure of talking to you folks a couple times, and the direction I got last time was, can you come back to this? Shot everything, got the topography in there, put the utilities, and prepared site plan, and get an opportunity to get out to the town engineer review. The site's interesting in that it was originally a single parcel. It was subdivided years ago. I think it was done at a time when Hamlin actually owned and ran their own water department. Subsequently, the water authority is now in charge of that. Other than some utilities that are being shared between the two parcels, it was pretty straightforward. The building set nicely on the site. Of course, there's access from the parcel to the south. It's a utility process. This easement allows for that to take place. This building is not going to be serviced with any utility other than electric. So we're not looking to extend water service or sanitary services into the proposed building. So it will just be electric. Pretty straightforward. Other than that, it's pretty much as simple a site plan as you can get. There is no proposed improvements off of Lake Road or Sport. We'll maintain the same access into the site. And we do show one single light on the south face of the proposed building, which for safety in the parking lot. So, of course, there'll be no light off site. Just looking at the adjacent owners. There's a little deeper on the plan for that. Other than that, talk a little bit about, since the water service is shared, it comes into the building to the south and runs to the building to the north. Montgomery County Water Authority is aware of the situation. If this was a newly constructed site, they would say, put your own service and bring it in. They have been aware of this for a number of years. Again, it was something that I think carried over from the town, handed over the water, the responsibility of the town water. So the Water Authority, similar situation with sanitary lateral that comes in from the east side, comes up to a point and then splits between the two buildings. And that was in keeping oftentimes yeah, you'd be able to feed a couple of buildings with a single lateral, just for the logic of doing this. So, that was probably done at a time when, you know, it was normal to allow such a connection. If you were to start fresh with a blank site, you'd look to try to bring in something lateral, but in this case, these are existing services that function. My client does own both parcels. They're under different names, but they own both. The question came up with, you know, is there a need or requirement to merge the properties to eliminate the issue of the fusion of utilities? That could be an option people test, have something that gives. But again, this was done at a time prior to some of the changes in authorities. And what we're really trying to get is contacted us over at the client. We're very anxious to see what we could do to move forward. I understand that normal procedure with the planning board is to bring it in and site plan and then call for a public hearing and proceed. And that's where I believe we are tonight. I would ask the board to potentially consider waiving the public hearing from the standpoint of the simplicity of the plan. This has been before the board a number of times. And again, it warrant scrutiny. And from the standpoint of their desire to get the building sooner than later, an extra month will sure, especially at this time of year.
Thank you, Chris.
Sure.
JP?
Chris basically touched on the two comments I had in my letter relating to that shared water service, and just noting that there's so many shared things here: the parking, the driveway access, the sanitary sewer lateral. All these things are shared in common. It seems logical that it be, and it's the same owner, that it's just be one lot. Simplify those items, but again, there's nothing, you know, the easements are available and the easements are legal, some of these things. So, I just bring that up as it seemed like a logical thing to do moving forward.
What about the health department?
Well, you know, right now it's on a metered service, it's separate, it's been a pre-existing water supply, so anyone buyer's aware of it, including Chris, so,
So there's no proposed changes in the service.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Just have to take the hard look at things first.
Absolutely.
Keith, number one question for me is zoning, multiple uses, does it meet that criteria? Is there any false steps in looking at it overall at one? Are you still considering combining it sometime in the future?
It would be something that they would consider doing, especially if it was something that would expedite the approval. Because their number one priority is to get the building up soon. And they obviously would not want to extend the review process. If we do, requirement for a subdivision, we would ask that the site plan could proceed through with subdivision, also potentially schedule in the future. But we'd only go through that cost and expense and it was required.
Let me finish referring to Chris, or me, Keith, actually, too many Chris's.
What was the question?
Okay, well, the question is, you have a single owner, 2 lots. JP recommended a combination of some sort, only it makes sense. Does this meet the zoning criteria for here having multiple uses, or they become uses that are approved?
I'm sorry, I still don't understand the question.
I
I think JP's recommendation of merging the lots is to resolve the issues. It's in effect one site, so why would
and I think to your question, you know, on a residential lot, we allow a primary use and maybe an accessory. This is zoned commercial neighborhood business, I believe. So it's a commercial site, which it's not unusual to have,
More than one.
more than one use on a commercial site.
Now I understand.
All right, sure.
I don't know if I have any questions, but now that this just recently came up, might be good time to maybe merge it with single lot.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't understand why they wouldn't do that. It would make it so much easier.
But one of the reasons that was originally split up was just the fact that, obviously you have two parcels you can only sell one without having this on both. So there are some advantages to keeping separate, and certainly added soon. But again, it's an extra step, it's an extra time, potentially an extra cost if you don't need to do that, if you're happy to do it.
My question, Keith, do we need a public hearing here?
That's my tip.
For me?
Yes.
Anything that the history of the property, where it goes back to human oil, and we stored quite a lot of diesel fuel and oil and stuff. And I don't know if there's some contaminated property on one half and not on the other.
Wouldn't know that, and then obviously this proposed building going in, it's like a, basically like a full arm, minimal excavation, yes, it would not much.
Well, seems to be the opinion that this is a night where we take the vote and finalize everything. But I guess the issue comes back into your lap and the developer, whether or not he wants to combine the lots.
We have had that discussion, and again, the intent is, if it will help move the project along and prevent any further delay, to that end, they actually have a planning board application for subdivision, hoping that you would have to have a public hearing, for the subdivision and the site plan next time around, so we wouldn't lose an extra month in the process.
Okay. Two other questions come to mind. Water service. Where's the closest hydrant? I think we touched on it last month. We talked about anything inside that would be flammable other than packaging.
You know, I believe there's one just off on the north.
Yep.
It's not shown on the plan.
Yeah, it's just off the next to the north.
And just two water meters.
Yep.
Okay.
So, wouldn't it be easier? I don't think we would have to get a public hearing if we were going to merge two lots. And not creating, I don't know if I understand it, but if we merge it, we don't have to.
That is correct, but we still need the submap, which we don't have.
Right, which I would get that at the next meeting, so we did a public hearing for the site plan, and then also at that time, for the subdivision, for the paper.
Well, that's true. We're far enough along with the actual drawing, JP.
Yes,
Okay, this is like modifications along, right? Maybe have that discussion and nail it down with the developer.
Yeah, we're there.
Does that change the seeker at all for something like this? No.
No, I mean, if we're gonna vote on them at the same time, it's one project, so it would be, an unlisted action.
entertain a motion for a site plan. And that will be for a public hearing for this for next month. And also finalize the property merge. There will be two separate motions for us to see. The motion.
The Hamlin Building LLC, 1466 Lake Road, for a public hearing next month, which will be.
Give me a second.
Okay, you got holiday.
September 2nd.
We're still meeting on September 2nd.
On my birthday.
It's a Tuesday.
We'll have Sharon bake for you.
Okay. I'll be here.
Site plan needs approval. Yeah. Okay. We'll take care of it. The lot coverage just needs coordination. We'll see. We'll take care of it. Yeah, we have to
I wasn't sure.
vote on the first one. First. Get that out of the way. Second? Roll votes?
Sharon Steigerwald,
Yes.
Dave Martin.
Yes.
Rich Slider,
Yes.
James Nesbitt.
Yes.
Ed Nelson. Steve Hitler.
Okay.
Sure,
We'll be waiting
My
for
client to submit all the paperwork necessary for the building permit ahead of time. So,
We can supply all the information, we can't act on it.
right, as long as you get it in so that after the meeting they can.
Yes. Yes, no problem.
You heard anything from the fire marshal?
Make sure we get comments.
Yeah, we gotta get something from the fire marshal. They're gonna have sprinklers?
No, sir.
Yeah, well, maybe the fire marshal might want
Well,
sprinklers.
they're not planned at this point, let's put that. Yeah, there wasn't a plan to bring water into the building. We'll get comments from the fire marshal.
I just want monitor.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Make sure you get the site plan and your comments and the rest of
Yeah,
it.
we're gonna do something from him. Well, he's got his hand in running. Okay. Second item on the agenda is a conservation board of development permit for 6430 Shore Acres Drive. Looks like it's,
You can do it. You can do it, come on. Marjorie Buckhead.
adding a set of steps in the deck within the foot of it.
I would like it back.
Okay.
It's not gonna go any further towards the lake than the end of my porch, and it's gonna be even with my, garage.
Well, you see, circle, so and then,
And the DEC, road.
It's all in the package again.
The wood just arrived today.
Well,
So hopefully.
Some of the other organizations involved in our bureaucracy here, Barney's Time is, we like them to be, but some of them are still there to hold on.
Yeah.
What you need?
Yeah, I looked at the property and Chad didn't inspect it, and I don't see any issues.
JP?
No engineering concerns.
No concerns, it's type 2.
Sure.
I've been out to the property multiple times,
Yes,
and have reviewed it multiple times, and I have no issue.
and I also was looking for some steps to come out of an existing, sliding glass door. So they, at that time, he was wanting to put that for,
It'll work
so
in,
6x4, what's that?
it'll work in the transportation.
It'll work in nice and neatly.
Sure.
All right, Lee.
So that goes up. Okay. We're gonna make a couple motions.
Make a motion then for, Marjorie, Buckman, 6430, Shore Acres Drive for a, type 2 negative deck. First motion.
Second.
Sharon Steigerwald,
Yes.
Dave Martin,
Yes.
Rich Slider,
Yes.
Tom Mansfield,
Yes.
Ed Nelson,
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Well, we have another little motion here.
Oh, okay.
When you get secret.
Don't rush it.
For Marjorie Buckman, again, 6430, Shore Acres Drive. Seeking a conservation corridor development permit to add, set of steps on the deck within 100 feet of Lake Ontario in the front or side yard. This is in the SR zoning district and the LWRP, tax account 007 52-1-19-1. Following documents have been submitted for review, letter of intent, conservation corridor development permit application, aerial photo, instrument survey, LWRP, and the DEC paper.
Second.
Sharon Steigerwald,
Yes.
Dave Martin.
Yes.
Rich Slider,
Yes.
James Mansfield.
Yes.
Ed Nelson.
Yes.
Steve Hickman.
Yes.
You're all set.
Now I can say thank you.
Now you can move your wood.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, do I stay or do I go? Okay, thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is for, Delamasca, final, preliminary and final single lot subdivision, Lake Road East Fork. 27 feet south of the center line of North Hamlin Road.
Good evening. Back in 1985, that Darrell Moser did, showing how the farm was broken up into two parcels, and it was like, plans to be conveyed. So back then, they did a map, created deeds, filed them, and nowadays, that's considered a legal subdivision by the town of Henry. So what we're going in is basically providing a subdivision for the client, the lot she owns. That matches actually Darrell's map. Fire is, clear the record and get this lot to be considered a legal subdivision.
Okay. Good evening.
No issues.
On the map, it shows a Sandy Creek Basin line, small trip going through drainage district. I didn't know if this come under the auspices of the LWRP or not.
We usually will take that right off the map. Article. We're a little more accurate. We do it.
And it didn't show up on my gun.
If it's helping you, what I'm saying, all the same maps, so what you gather here is the interpretation of that alignment. Is that all the current aerial photos that are available. So from Army Corps, so from the county, fire, and all that.
Okay. Do you have a short form you got on this?
We should.
I gave you, I don't know if there was a short.
Yes, there is a short
You
deed.
have it? Okay, it's in your packet.
Yeah. Keith, would you like to look at this?
Sure.
It's just- Thank you. Okay. Since this was considered originally by our attorney of creation of a new lot, the drive never was approved.
There was never a subdivision that created the property lines as currently depicted on the tax maps. So what we're doing is we're basically taking a legal subdivision, making it legal, find a map from Hampton's apartments.
Is there I'm taking a look at the map, and as it drifts to the North Hammond Road right away, you look at 4.5 feet or something.
Yeah, it's really bizarre. I mean, the first thing you look at the map, it's like, why is there
How come they
this
didn't-
skew? And basically happened is the property along North Hammond Road was subdivided previously. And whoever came second, as far as the surveyor came second, didn't pay attention to what the adjoiner was. So they basically created a gore between the boundaries. It's silly, but that was, you know, that's what they did, and he accurately mapped it, and it is one of those kind of peculiar things. That little strip of land doesn't provide any real value to my client's property, and, you know, you would think sooner or later someone would say, hey, I wanna buy the sliver, and provide it, do it. It becomes a nuisance, but yeah, this is a little weird thing. That happens sometimes. It's better that there's a gap than there's an overlap. Sometimes that happens, when the property lines cross, and then you get a bigger
I'd
problem.
be taking my foot in it and going to resurvey.
Yep.
I have no engineering concerns with the exception that it looks like the scaling of the Lake Road east toward the right of way
Yeah, we corrected
is
that.
a little out of way.
Yeah, they came in just from, basically, Don Logan County plan. But we did make further revisions as it was to that current plans.
Other than that, no engineering concerns.
Keith?
I took a look at EAF, I have no problem with that, appreciate having that in the file. It is an unlisted action. I think a public hearing is required, the lot appears to have been created by deed, which means it's not subject.
Cleans things up a little bit. Okay. Sure.
Yeah, Chris, what's a PEM one? What is it?
It's a description of what the wetland species are. I should be able to rip it off, but it's,
Pre-emergent,
yeah.
some sort of plant.
Yeah, so when they fly in, they look and they say, here's our wetland, they try to give a description of what the predominant plants grow in there, whether it's willow trees or something, but they kind of classify, you know, this stuff, or it's kind of that stuff. But, and we put it on there because it does reference that it was mapped off of the Army Corps mapping that shows the wetland in the description, and it's nice.
I've seen things like that, it's just street reflection.
Yeah,
They try
you
to
know,
pin down a point.
there's a whole lot.
There's a couple monuments right in that area too,
Well,
so.
I mean, Daryl's map from '85 showed it just like this, that those parcels already came in and already had that skew. Yeah. You can only guess that when the farmer sold it off, he gave the first one so many feet of width and the next one so many feet of width, and they came in from the other side, and whoever did that work didn't bother running out, making sure they were abutting. Yes, the line.
Any other questions? Master.
You got it.
Okay, so what we want a motion for a public hearing. We don't want to seek a determination until after we get the public hearing, just in case something rolls up.
Correct. I offered the secret spoiler, forgive me.
Yeah, just,
That's a good.
want to make sure, okay, let's make that, and the location is kind of unusual where it's 427 foot south of the center line of the North Hamlin Road. Tax account number 006.004-4-2.24, a public hearing for next month, which will be September 2nd. Second, David.
Covered it all.
Okay.
Sharon Steiger Welch. Yes. Dave Martin.
Yes.
Rich Slider.
Yes.
James Nesbitt.
Yes.
Ed Nelson.
Yes.
Steve Chipman.
Great. See you next month.
Sir, I'm sit out just for a minute.
Yes.
Hold on just a minute. We'll do something to.
Good night.
Anybody want to take a 5-minute break for some water, go across the hall? Go ahead.
We're allowed to do that? I'm gonna get you, let's get the Wiggles out here, come on. You feel bad, I'm sorry, everybody. Please stand. Around the hall. When Cheryl gets back, we'll basically start.
All right.
I'll keep an eye out for it. Thank you.
Thank you for that, sir.
We're on a little break time right now.
Yeah. Okay, I'm all set whenever you are.
We have a member of the audience.
That's just the,
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, that one's.
there you go.
Too quick.
Okay.
This is their driveway. Yeah, that's sanitary, but we had to deal with it. Job there.
Everybody's back?
Oh.
Okay, next item on the agenda is an application of Denali Excelsior, owner Denali Excelsior, seeking commercial sketch plan approval to add mini storage buildings to the property located at 2865 Roosevelt Highway. Good evening, Chris. At least three, right?
I came in front of you about 3 years ago
revisiting, what we can move forward on it. See what is viable to the town and get some feedback.
It's a piece of town that isn't developed. Nobody's playing corner. Before we go bigger right now, what's your time frame you're looking at if this gets, started?
There'll be no more gap, let's put it that way. We're looking at put boots on the ground very quick. I don't know if that's the exact answer you want.
On this property, there's federal wetland. We talked about it a couple of years ago. Is this gonna be buffered or nothing's gonna be done?
Yeah, we're not disturbing.
There's no remediation or anything else that needs to happen?
And I do believe there's enough, space on, would it be the northwest property for like snow removal or drainage, over into, a non-wetland area that I would. We haven't had the type of done yet, so I couldn't give you exact dimensions.
This doesn't bring in, Janine doesn't bring anything in the plan as far as
You just
creek
said,
corridors or anything.
you just said the purple hadn't been done yet, so as far as drainage around the wetland, and it's really vague, so I don't know what to say.
As long as you're aware,
Yes.
if there's anything that comes down the page.
Okay.
And if there's anything that comes down, questions and stuff, we'll bring it up at public hearing.
Okay.
JP,
Um,
Scott,
yeah, I prepared my comments, last week. Basically, we need more detailed site plan reports, showing the grading plan, stormwater control, stormwater pollution prevention plan, utilities lighting plan, driveway access, traffic patterns, fencing, gate buffers, traffic and parking requirements, and on the subject of the wetland, New York State DEC on January 1st made changes to the procedures for wetland determinations. So now, all these that were mapped, as this one was, as a federal wetland, now have what they call areas needing jurisdictional determinations. So basically, the wetlands need to be visited and probably actually delineated with development going on near it. Just showing them per the state mapping is no longer acceptable. The determination needs to be made for every wetland. So that'll have to be visited by their developers and when they develop a full site. But I'm just bringing that up because a good chunk of the site is that way.
Real quick.
I'm sorry, real quick on that, you stated that you put your concerns in. Are those public?
Yeah,
I'm not, new, I'm sort of.
The plan had Rich Meyer's name on it, so I copied Rich.
Oh, okay.
I assumed he was
We got it.
an involved party.
We got it. The wetlands have already been delineated, resolved. We were already delineating, that was done 3 years ago. So
Okay,
That's
well,
been located, but we just, before we pull the trigger on anything, we wanted to see
Yeah.
if it's a viable option. If it is, then we can start spending some hard-earned money.
I would think the site plan would have to, building on JP's comments, the site plan would have to lay out the buffering, the landscaping, the proposed fencing, that would be the key thing.
This is probably one of the nicest sketch plans we've had in a long time. It's a sketch. So come in on Hampton. Cheryl had to step out for a second, but Sharon?
You're a nice sketch man, but I couldn't read it. Couldn't tell where it is.
With
If I'm not wrong, this is behind the Mount store, right?
not the village store, behind the church.
Yeah.
I could not tell what it was.
So does that include Bob, the old grocery store? Will that be torn down or is it behind?
No, Quickly's is gonna stay there. And matter of fact, Quickly's white, vinyl fence that they put up, that's the border, to my property. And there's access both off 18 and 19. We were looking to have access off of 19.
Well, what we need here is a site plan. Yeah. So, once we have that, we can move forward.
The only question I had is 3 years since they visited this. So it's actually coming back, it's concept. Go ahead.
Okay.
It's concept.
So all the stuff that, all the old literature and stuff, that has no bearing on, it's gotta be brand new. With 60 feet. I just wanna make sure it's okay.
The problem with our time frames, and this is just kind of off the cuff, is it's really hard these days to try to meet that standard by the applicant. Engineering officers and surveyors, and, you know, they've got a full load on their plate, and sometimes they're 3 or 4 months out. Okay. We don't get replies back from the county sometimes after the fact. All right, so in order for us to do our due diligence, we have to think in this, sometimes that bump where we talked about 3 months for approval, sometimes goes a little further than that. So, we can't act with our hands tied. So, we're going down the right thing, especially what the state's doing with the radiation and stuff.
One of the questions I would have also was with the, Keith mentioned the landscape buffer, but how about lighting? You know, is that going to affect the residents on the north side?
Well, it'll be low emitting lighting when we have it, it'll probably be a dusk to dawn. It'll be impacted, there's a lot of natural vegetation.
Security fencing?
I can work with the town on that, I don't know, if they don't want it because it's an eyesore, I won't put it up there. If you are requesting it, you know, it's, don't have security fencing, that's not change.
I guess my only concern would be with the wetland there, people coming back there with no fencing and stuff and dumping garbage.
We do plan on having cameras, that's for sure.
I think along the buffers too, it's generally a requirement because we have a commercial property abutting next to the residential. So there's language in your code that says buffering is required between them. How you handle that properly, whether it's fencing or vegetated buffer, you know, those kinds of things.
Right, but that's on the north side, but on the east side where the
Yeah.
pond is, I don't think that covers that.
And I think there needs to be some natural, either longitudinal buffering, their distance away from the actual edge of the wetland. Okay, which will be determined when the actual delineation happens. So, we'll take a look at that, as we see the site plan, we'll
What's your driveway in?
It's gonna come off 19, that's what we're proposing. proposed to 18, which there's also access to. When we were here 3 years ago, the engineer for Quigley was here, and so I picked his brain. And he stated that a lot of boards would like just one ingress and egress through a, for mini storage and subject opposed to bringing in out.
Okay, with that being said, would we be able to review something more concrete in the way of a site plan by next month, or do you need longer than
I'm hoping you can.
I would say probably in the next 2 months.
that? Would you say something?
I'll say it. It's gonna probably be in the next 2 months. I know I can get my stuff done. I can't speak for my engineer.
I get it, I know. What's going on.
And I'm not even sure how I'm gonna get it done in the next month.
You know, it's not just us. Okay, this is not a public forum. We'll have a public hearing as this transpires. So, if you have any concerns or anything that we can add into the comments, feel free to write a letter or a note to Cheryl, okay? Public hearings is a time to go back and forth. So if you get a chance to take a look at it up front, and it'll be more of the detail and what's gonna happen. October,
I think October
Yeah.
is reasonable.
okay? And what would that be?
Well, why don't you wait till you get the drawings in? We don't know when he's gonna get us the whole site plans.
You know, we'll need some time to digest it, I guess, to, that leads us into something else, but, so, we'll put you on the agenda once we have a full package. All right? And, that's the best we can do, so we'll just, table it.
Technically, you don't have to do that.
It's up to, onus is on the applicant. So, all right, thank you much.
If anybody would like to speak with me, I'm wondering if you want to come outside and talk. I didn't really want to listen. Concerns.
Is he building? You're right.
You might want to close that door a little bit.
We're gonna bring some chairs.
Not all the way, never seen something like that. There's something else we're supposed to talk about. Thirty 22 Bridgeville Hospital. We have a sketch plan. Was that last month?
This is the first time,
Huh?
this is the first time before us.
Everybody's got to speak up. I can't hear. All right.
Will,
Hi.
how are you?
Nate?
Eric Faithful, I live at 3022 Bristol House. And we're looking to get a special permit to buy horse lessons for adults and children.
You were in,
Yeah, in the wintertime.
yeah.
Yeah, and then we, unfortunately, that program didn't work out. I was burned at both ends of the physically and mentally, and then my sister-in-law wanted to come back in, and my wife pulled the family card, so here we are.
That's fair. They love it. He does.
Okay, I believe,
Coco.
this is a schedule. And that's pretty much all it is.
That's right.
And I think we sent you at the time the zoning.
Yeah.
Okay. And at that time, Cheryl, remind me, you were okay for 6 horses?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask the question, there's 9 horses on the property across the street
Yes.
where you're letting them feed,
Yes.
like a little, so to speak.
Saving me a lot of gas.
Okay. Are those what you're gonna need in order to promote your business?
Yeah, that's, like I said, I was maxed out at 6, and then my sister-in-law had 3, so she needed a place to bring her horses. But yes, 3 is, or 9 is beyond what we can control.
Oh, yeah, no more.
And two of them are like at the age of 33. So they're they're having that retirement life.
They are established lesson horses. They've been
Yep.
lessoning for the last few years too.
So in order for that to increase, you're probably gonna have to go back for modification. All right, that'll kick in parking and some other stuff that we talked about here earlier, where we need to have a site plan of some significance, okay, by a licensed professional. Pete? Pete, what you say?
Yeah, I mean, I pulled out my comment letter from December 2024. And at that time, we had noted, yeah, we need a drawing done at a common engineering scale, showing all the improvements. There's wetlands in the conservation overlay area in the back of the property that we needed to have mapped and see so we can, so the conservation board can determine if there's an impact on issuing of the conservation development permit as well as the special use permit.
That's in,
Yeah, there's a wetland on site that is under jurisdiction of the town's conservation district. So it requires a permit.
Location sketch and
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna put the site, you need a proper site plan document. I think we talked about the arena at the time and, the other structures that are existing and proposed at the time. We need a site plan that shows what activities are and what structures are part of the site, where the parking is, all those kinds of things.
Didn't we talk about also getting something from the property owner across the street for the horses to do that?
Yeah, I provided a letter.
You did.
Yeah. And when we were going for it, because we're originally building an indoor riding arena, that's why we were going for the special permit and everything. This is just a 60 by 100 fenced in area that's just gonna be for riding, strictly for riding.
An outdoor.
get an engineer drawing showing all that stuff and the location of things.
Okay, can I ask, what's up with the parking? What do you need for documentation for parking? Because this is,
Well, how many horses are you gonna run at the same time?
max 3.
So, you're gonna take care of people that are handicapped also, put people on horses?
We do,
Or you're
yeah.
gonna just- So you might need to have some handicap spot?
Well, that's what I'm saying, this is just like a driveway up to a barn
They couldn't be any
with grass
closer.
marking, like grass, my yard for parking.
So
I
you
would-
have a drawing that would show a parking area.
Okay, I just wanna know what kind
Make
of
sure you leave
dimensions you
yourself
needed.
enough room for, you're not blocking access, in case you need an ambulance or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So, put your heads together with a, professional and do a drawing that shows that you've got a safe operation as well as one that's needed, which I'm sure it is. Okay. And, you have to deal with Cheryl. So if you gotta go back to zoning, it'll give you time to do something as far as the drawing, that is done showing, footages to this list, the corners of the building, where the driveway is, the length, off the road. You're gonna have to locate the pond on a map, or the wetland, excuse me. And, then we'll have to keep right on going, you know, we have something that we can, based on our code, all right, in order to improve. All right. Just have to do it for Cheryl, get all that stuff done before our meeting, with, do something in it, do something, and see what needs to happen, we'll call it very, and go forward. All right.
If you're doing this in an outdoor arena, you're going to be able to do this in summer.
Yeah, I'm worried about this.
What if they do want to ride during the winter? I've actually been, I've been questioning my people, so last winter I had to go out to, where was I being? I was like 45 minutes down Ridge Road, it was a cruise, and I was doing it twice a day. So we just recently, came back, and I have adaptive and traditional riders. It's a wonderful program. The community absolutely needs it, like you said. They do need it, I can promise that. There is a lot of mental health issues in our world, and we need this here. I want to do a homeschool co-op. There's all sorts of goodness.
It wouldn't hurt as part of this application, come up with your business plan.
Sure, okay.
Okay.
I'll get you guys anything you need. We didn't know what we needed.
I mean, I've ridden in the winter, I mean.
It's fun.
People are hardy.
That's right.
But no, a nice business plan and a binder and stuff like that, goes a long way towards, being able to market it locally, if there's a community need for it.
Yeah.
So you might want to show that as part of the purpose, and similar to what you did originally when you tried doing it with the.
I have one more question. Would it, so for the community need, like if it's established, so I was working out of another program and an independent contractor, so I can go around teach I have insurance and all the things. But if it's a community, would you guys like letters from my riders, is what I'm asking, like some of their parents? Would that be a community, would that be what you're looking for, or do
I
you?
don't think nobody testimonials, it's just a good plan that you can stick to.
Sure.
Work through. All right, and just make sure you have the right number of horses.
Like I said, no, I was dead set, I was done, and then my wife pulled the family card, so that's the only reason why I'm right here. So,
Be thankful they're not rabbits.
yeah. It's still, actually, I want to correct you, there's 8.5 still, there's not 9.
That's right.
That was a little small.
That was-
Not yet.
So that's why I threw that in.
So we need the,
Okay. Very good.
All right, thank you.
All right. Cheryl, you,
Be in touch with them tomorrow, we can get some information so next time we're going,
right, and they have that, little book of what your plan is and everything else like that for the zoning meeting.
I do have a business plan, I just didn't know to bring it. Yeah, I have one. I've been doing this has been my dream since I was 6, so I am very prepared. I just genuinely didn't know what we need. I have 10 surveys in the car, I had anything you guys need, I was ready. I'm so excited. Thank you for having us, really.
My sister used to do this in the 70s for Vietnam veterans.
I believe in it with my it saved my life, it saved lives of people that I know. It's, like I said, there's a massive demand for it. People don't even realize the benefits of it until they.
Don't find any horses afraid of flowers.
The larger they are, the more spooky they get. PD's
Okay,
probably.
very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, so what we have in front of us is a pending SUP application, which is incomplete.
Right.
So we need to table it to preserve it, so they keep their filing fee, or deny it, and then they reapply, and they have to pay a fresh one.
Okay. Sure, you want to make a motion?
Sure. Make a motion to keep their filing fee.
No, but if you,
That's the town board's
Yeah.
decision, not yours. Ed.
Yeah.
You want to table it 2 months out, or?
Make a motion to table, special use permit for, healing hearts with horses, for 2 months out to October. the sixth.
Yeah, a lot of people show up and stuff.
Which one?
Yeah,
Oh, there's that one down.
Yeah, October sixth.
6? Okay, here,
Yes.
what time? 7 o'clock again?
7 o'clock.
Okay, sorry, I've never done anything like this. It's pretty cool. October.
You don't show how
I'll be here in Tuesday.
All right, folks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We need to,
Well, we kind of both.
we need to.
Sharon Steigerwald,
Yes.
Dave Matthews.
Yes.
Chris Snyder,
Yes.
James Nesbitt,
Yes.
Mike Nelson,
Yes.
Steve Giffen.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. And I will be in touch tomorrow.
Thank you, Cheryl. Can I give you a hug?
Well, probably not appropriate right now.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know. I've never been to a meeting, I don't know. I'll give you a hug tomorrow.
This cupcake.
So excited. Oh, there's puppy cake? Did they say good luck? What did you think?
Maybe just the one.
Judy.
Thank you so much again, Bailey.
Okay, bye, take care.
See you later.
I don't have anything. Everything's quiet.
There's some grants we're applying for dog shelter, pavilion for recreation, possibly community center. We're applying for them, and we've extended the moratorium on solar for another 12 months.
JP, I'm seeing all these manholes all over the house.
Talk
Jimmy hasn't got a.
talk to Kendall. Yeah, so not a lot going on. We're gonna meet with the board later this month, the town board, looking at some water, a completion of a water study we've done, and see if there's interest in moving into a district formation. I've been getting interest up on the lake shore from some of these properties that weren't buildable prior to the sewer project. They're now kind of coming forward a little bit, where we're seeing interest in developing some lots that were previously undevelopable, so we might be seeing some of that. Other than that,
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm gonna bring up something that it has to do with our scheduling and ability to see projects as well as the planning board attorney and our engineer getting stuff, okay, in a timely fashion through US mail. Okay. Some of it's on the engineers that are representing the applicant. Okay. And we've tried to be really good, but it's coming to a point in time that in order for all of us to digest stuff and put things in order and try to make a decent meeting agenda, okay, where things are coming in at the last minute, okay. Comments both from JP and you come in at the end of the week before usually, okay. If there's any chance in JP, like talking to some of the representatives of the applicants out there and say, hey guys, if you want me to be able to take a look at your stuff, I want it complete, and I want it at least 2 weeks before the meeting.
Schultz,
I'm not
Schultz does it regularly. I get 2 sets of drawings. Probably when they make them to give them to Cheryl, they send them to me as well, but the other folks don't. And I can always, it might not be a bad thing to make these folks submit electronically as well. So that
That's beyond me.
So,
Well, why can't we, if they don't submit in a timely fashion, then why do we have to entertain?
that's when Cheryl cuts off the agenda.
Okay, and a lot of that's on me when you have people that want to get something done and in the middle of the construction season, just to try to be decent to the applicants. unless they don't like being decent, because then it could be the other way. But, somehow we're gonna get the message out, because there's gonna be a point in time where I'm not gonna have to spend that time, like 3-4 days a week up here trying to put something together so that she can do an agenda and calling people and say, hey, where's your map? Okay, so that we all have the stuff when we sit down here at the meeting and we get it in order, okay, and we can adequately represent the town and the zoning courts and, our codes. All right, so it's gonna be out there. It's not that it's no more Mr. Nice Guy, but it is, we've gotta have more time. Okay, if someone says, like, Rich Meyer says, it's gonna be not next month, and, I know that if you do it, it's unbelievable, okay? But if you get stuff in a timely fashion and stuff, maybe we need to help that along by, showing them how to do an electronic transfer and stuff. Having your mail office like it used to be is now a big computer room where you're running print software.
Which, to, a lot of times,
What do you need from us?
if we had the agenda and the, close to where your cutoff date is, we had your agenda and an electronic application of everything, I can at least look at those and say, oh, I need a full-size drawing.
Right.
And then I can bug Schultz or Rich Meyer or, but
Right.
that helps speed things up just because we're not waiting for the mail. And I can at least look at it and say, oh, I really need a full-size set. I can't review it on my computer. And I don't want to
So
print it.
if they do that, then you don't get the full-size set.
Right, but at least I'll have an opportunity to look through what's on the agenda and what I have in front of me and say, oh, I'll call Schultz and get a full size. Or I can drop by and
We might
grab.
need to have a flexible, time frame that says we have to have documentation in a whole week prior to what you have, so you know what.
It's 2 weeks
Right,
before,
within
and
two, yeah. 2
they're,
weeks
they're
before
all
the meeting.
aware of it multiple times.
And,
But that, see, we can't, so I think that's great. And I'll start to read
Yeah,
that.
that'll at least cut some of this.
But we can't print out.
Chief, on that, you talked,
yeah,
the town board has talked before about, and I don't know if it would speed it up or help anything as far as electronically, looking into either a television or a projector where you could load the presentation in, with whatever,
Yeah.
whatever would make it better.
Yeah, I mean, some planning boards I work for, they do have a screen and then they make the applicants bring their drawings on a flash card or something.
But that don't help you in review.
But
It doesn't help me in review, but it sure makes a public hearing a lot better than not being able to see something
Right.
and someone standing in front of it.
That being said, what should we be looking
Well,
for?
but, I mean, the easiest thing is a
A
projector and,
that takes USB.
yeah, show PowerPoint or whatever, PDF. But, we don't have a lot of public hearings where we have to get into a lot of, quickly might have been the biggest last thing we had a lot going on. But at any rate, just from my point, if the cutoff date is 2 weeks ahead, and she can blast out the electronic copies, then I can look at it and say, well, I'll go and grab the hard copy from Cheryl, or I'll call Schultz or something.
So here we're going, the one, plan we got from Schultz, well, City Gate was Friday. I couldn't get to you guys.
He'd sent it to me.
Oh, okay, okay.
So once I saw it was on the agenda,
Okay,
I had looked at it.
next we didn't have it till Friday, and I was like, what do I do? Do I have to go over to your house?
Schultz is good with me on that, 'cause
That's
I
good.
work with him all over the place, and he knows, I do like a hard copy. Certain plans, the
but they can send
LWRP.
that to you on a disc,
Yeah.
or,
They drop off hard copies every day, so, for me or someone else. But if I had the electronic stuff, like the SUPs, I don't need hard copies to review that SUP, you know? You know, there's lots of little, you know, what we have for the horse thing, and there's nothing to look at. And
Right, it was, yes, I know that, yes.
so,
But so I can just scan everything and just send it to you,
yeah,
both of you.
yeah, even make the applicants, you know, with engineers, give you electronic copy, probably make your filing work easier.
Well, I just had to turn someone down tonight, it's been like 4 months dealing with him, because we're coming in tonight, I said, you're not on the agenda till September 2nd. Well, I'm getting in my truck right now, and I'm gonna come in, I said, no, you're not. I'll see you September 2nd, and I'll talk to you tomorrow if I have to. So,
You know, and if there's a legal question, I would rather have, the applicant being able to direct an answer to you that you feel somewhat, because you give a good description of it. The applicant knew that right off the bat, you know, and just didn't have the weekend in order to reply to it, okay? It'd make things go a little bit easier too. And, so if there's something we need to make that easier for you, is it the US mail? Do we need to send it next day registered? Does Cheryl need to get in the car and go?
I would say,
That's a
Which
bad
you
use
would
of
do,
time.
I know.
if you get them, I don't know how Keith feels, but if you get the stuff to me electronically, I can look at it and see what I do.
You have,
And that would give me the full 2 weeks to
which,
to
would
do
you
it.
have the ability to put together a protocol that she could use with people?
well, I think it's the same protocol I'm using for zoning board right now, because they don't do agenda items anymore unless they miss the date. Everything goes straight to a public hearing, and I changed my time frame to 3 weeks. So I can rearrange my calendar so I get everything earlier. Like
See,
I do the
we're
same
bound
thing.
by state subdivision law that we have a sketch plan. We take a look at it, and we don't necessarily go right to a public hearing.
Right. Correct. But I can
But there
still
might
use
be
that
one in the
protocol.
future, because we had to make a new lot map, a new subdivision that never was legal, because it was done by boundary and deed. You know, so, yeah, we gotta have a public hearing. If you guys have needs above and beyond what we need to have to make your job a little bit easier, and ours a whole bunch easier, think about it.
I can tell you right now,
Well, I may not remember it, but,
Let's hear it.
you know, send me a memo.
the Schultz,
I'm only being,
I understand, the Schultz situation is not unique to this town. And it goes back many years. And other towns where I've seen it, and they enforce the rules, the cutoff date applies. If you don't make it by the cutoff date, your application doesn't go on the agenda, period. It doesn't go on the agenda, it's not advertised, nothing. And so there's no point in showing up, because no one's gonna listen to you. And you gotta hold the line. And there's no there's, you know, the other side of the planning board and the other boards, they've got the Chamber of Commerce hat. And they don't wanna hold back the developer, they don't wanna punish the landowner. There's a
I've been
lot of
accused of that.
sympathy. But if you hold the line with Schultz and with the rest of them, it'll start showing up on time. It happens quite quickly.
well,
Sure, because they got to answer to their client. Clients would be pissed if they didn't make it on. So
Bingo.
that's kind of what I was getting at earlier. Is that we do that and enforce it, even though we may want to help somebody.
well, if it becomes to a health matter, or someone needs to have that generator.
Oh, that's something, yeah,
It's
that's
totally
an
something
exception
different.
to the rule, but that's something that,
We always did hold it to the line, always, disappointing a lot of people over the years. But it seems lately that everybody cares too much, and they want everybody to be seen, no matter what's there. So, I will, like Friday, I received it Friday, should I have, is that something that I should call and say, I didn't receive this till Friday, if they don't have time to look at it, they're not coming in.
The question would be if they already have a complete agenda that made the cutoff
Yes, but what about the materials?
Then the materials, the last minute materials, I reject them.
Okay,
Just reject them.
Okay.
Because, and he
Okay.
does this, and another thing he does in other towns, and I don't want this to be Rich Schultz, seminar. But
the town at the meeting with the plans that have been revised. And everyone's looking at them like, well, we just can't review these right here. It takes more than 5 minutes to do that. And it just doesn't work.
Mhm.
If you're gonna show up and correct some minor trivial thing, God bless, but then even that can wait. Wouldn't that wait till the final plan that you submit to the town on the Mylar after it's been approved? And those sorts of revisions, if they're necessary to get the approval, then I guess you have to come back the following month. That is what I would do. The second part of your question, what do you need to do to accommodate me? I think we're already uploading things electronically to send them to the county, are we not?
Mhm.
Don't they already do that? So having them send us copies